So here we'll start with scale pose or talasana. Basically hands beside and lift up your butt. Okay, so when the legs are crossed, this is what that looks like. Let me do it from the side, butt lifted. Okay, next is, I find it a little bit easier to find a lotus pose and practice talasana. So double check that you're not dumping into the hands like this, because this is something that we can do. So plant the palms and then lift the hips up off the ground. Okay, next one we will do with the blocks. This is where we can notice a lot more happening and maybe a little more strength because we've got that extra added height. So again, talasana with lotus posture, I find it is helpful because the legs are kind of taking care of themselves here. Hands on the block, lift up. Next one, legs straight. Let's see how we can do this. Legs straight, lift up, and then lift the legs. So different variations of talasana for you to try on your own. Okay, scale pose is really how we're going to warm up the arms for our next bout of postures. Where we start with the blocks. So talasana scale pose. Plant your palms on the mat beside you, spread your fingers wide, and then put the weight into the hands, lift the bum up off the ground. So that's stage one. Okay. Stage two is to find your padmasana, or your lotus pose. This is where it's easy to do this. So hands flat, and then lift up. And then the last option is with the blocks. Well, it's not the last option. To lift your bum up. So just play with those first and foremost. So hands. Keep thinking about your hasta pada, or your hasta bandha. We want to push into the knuckles and keep the fingers spread wide. When we have a wider base, then it's quite nice for taking the pressure throughout the entire hand, and we can find more balance than when the hands are together like this, where it will be less balanced. So first, cross-legged, lift the bum. Second, padmasana. Once again, lift the bum. Third, use the blocks to give you a little bit of height. And then fourth, bring the legs out long and lift the legs. So you can do it with or without the blocks.